We're so far from basic. You put us on these pedestals, but we are so far from perfect. All I want is just to be noticed for who I really am, trying to make a difference. Pray for the creative. That's what we need. We don't need your expectations, but we need you to agree. Oh, the things I hear, the things I see, always in my mind. The pressure's beating up on me. Anxiety's at an all-time high, and all I want is to be heard and to be seen.
What's going on, y'all? It's been a minute, so I need to know who's watching. I need to see who is watching tonight. Because tonight we are celebrating 2 years of being in existence. I can't believe it because there was some times where I was just like, but we're here. So I just need everybody who's watching to let us know, first of all, where you are watching from and what type of creative are you? Like, who are you? Are you a designer, a content creator, a videographer? Like, what do you do? And sometimes the comments are slow, so I'm just not even gonna sit here and wait. I'm gonna let it build up. But if you're watching, I need you to share this link with one other creative person. So I'm gonna take a break. Literally, I'm gonna wait 3 seconds for you to take this link and share it with somebody, with a creative person. Because we just need the room to be full of a whole bunch of creatives, because y'all know how it is. Creatives are dope. So who doesn't want to be with and around another creative? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to wait for you to do that. And, guys, I'm excited because we have 3 guests. 3. Not 1, but 3 of them. So I know it's about to be a show. I see my girl Aaliyah is watching. Aaliyah, I need you to comment. I think I saw Raya. So you in here. The peoples is in here. I just need y'all to talk because you guys cannot be quiet all night. You know how we do. But yeah, we live. So listen, the Creative Space has been in existence for 2 years. I'm grateful that you guys have stayed connected to us for 2 years. Let me know if you guys can see and hear me clearly, please, because I see myself very clear on here, but I don't know if it looks like that on Facebook. So let me know. Let me know, because we like quality over here. So if it's not giving, hey Antonio, you are a cannabis lifestyle creator. Wow. That's dope. What is that? Can you explain that? Gabby. Hey, Gab. Am I clear? Is my video clear? Like, is it giving like 4K? No, I'm just joking. Is it giving at least 1080? At least. Because, we using webcams. Okay. I'm here. I'm getting 2 things. It's not as clear. It's blurry, but cool. Okay. Oh, nah. Somebody said 480p. Oh, no. We not doing that. Okay. I need Backstage to log out. Okay. Backstage log out. And let's see if that clears us up. Because, we not 480. That's No, not you guys. Log out. Log out. We gonna get this right. We gonna see, because it's so clear over here. That's crazy. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. We gonna get in this. All right, it's blurry. It's blurry. It's blurry. Wait for Facebook to reset. Tell me if it's better now. Why it's like that? Still blurry. But anyways, while we doing this, looks better. That's just weird. All right, so we're gonna go on with the show. I'm gonna try to fix it. But while we're getting it together, still keep commenting. I only got one person. We got Antonio from Baltimore saying that he is a lifestyle creator. So I see Gabby in here. I see Rhea in here. You guys need to let me know what y'all do. We have guests, so we need to. I think it's still a little blurry, but I'm gonna fix that during our little break because this is just not it. Ariane is a content/fashion creator. Dope. But yeah, so we're 2 years old. I'm excited. We've grown over the past 2 years. We've lost, we've gained, that whole thing. But I'm just grateful that we're still in existence. We have our weekly meetings starting back up in January. You guys heard it here first. We started doing every other week, but we're going back to how we started because that's where the community was built. It was built on consistency and always seeing each other, weekly seeing each other. So we're gonna bring that back. I do not want to belabor the time because it is a Friday night and I know the people of God want to be outside. So Gabby's a writer. Yep, she is a writer, a poet, everything. So I'm gonna bring our first guest on. I think I'm still blurred. I feel like I am. Hi, Jessica. I don't know why I'm blurry, but I don't know. But Jessica Jackson's in here too. Hey, Jessica. So anyway, I'm gonna bring our first guest. Our first guest, we had him on before. He's not a stranger to this. He is a father of a very, very, very cute son. He is the owner of Chosen, the brand Chosen. Thank you, Jessica. The brand Chosen. They have like these little bomber jackets. And I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna let him tell it. I'm not doing the justice. I want to do it right, and he's gonna come on. He's not a stranger. He was on with us last year, I believe. And yeah, so I'm gonna bring him on. He's gonna introduce himself and talk for a little while I go. Okay? So Ethan is live, y'all.
A pleasant good night. How's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Ethan Hodge, as you can see right there. I am a creative. I am currently a community school director. I work with elementary school students. I'm extremely passionate about igniting flames. When I'm not at work, I am a dad. I'm a creative. I am looking for different ways to connect others to get to the next level. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a public speaker as well. I advocate for others. I advocate for my Black and brown young men and young women growing up to be movers and shakers of this world. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So y'all, we fixed it. I think this is giving 1080.
It is.
All right. Because I couldn't continue with that. I'm sorry. Couldn't. looking like a security camera situation. But y'all heard Ethan is, oh, well, sometimes he's called Mr. Hodge. Let us know why you're called Mr. Hodge.
I didn't hear him. Sorry. One more
Let us
time.
know why you're called Mr. Hodge sometimes.
Okay, so I'm called Mr. Hodge because that was actually started when I started working in the education system. I had all my scholars and even my employees call me Mr. Hodge. There's a separation. If you call me Ethan, that means we know each other on a personal level. But the Mr. Hodge creates that respect, that boundary.
Yep. So, you guys, it's Mr. Hodge. What does Janet Jackson say? My name is whatever, but to you, it's so his name is Ethan, but to y'all, it's Mr. Hodge. So anyway, thank you guys so much for the congratulations. Yes, I'm grateful that this is still around. You guys know it's not easy to run a community of people, especially people of color, right? It's not easy to bring them together and keep them together. So I'm grateful that we're still around and we're still going strong. So we have entered into our segment, Q&A with Cre8ive. So if you guys watched us when we first started, I usually had to guess, and I usually was the one asking the question, right? I was just like, why not? Why shouldn't we? Why 2 years of celebration do a little different? Open up with someone else asking me questions, and someone else is not a stranger to your right? People ask me questions all the time about how we got started and just different things revolving around creativity and Christ. And I'm just like, this would be a perfect platform to answer the questions. And again, if you guys have questions that Ethan does not answer or have, you guys can put your questions in the chat and we'll get to it. And the question can be for me, it can be for him. It's just gonna be a conversation. So don't be shy. Okay, everything is welcome, right? Don't be crazy. But everything is welcome. So we're gonna start. Ethan, it's on you.
All right. So in the beginning, we're gonna get a little deep into this, how this whole thing started, this whole creative. Even the way you write creative, like it's extremely creative. So that was dope. So you stated that in the beginning that you had this for 2 years. So reflecting on the past 2 years, what creative achievements are you most proud of, and how have they positively influenced the individuals we aim to elevate and encourage? So that's a 2-part question.
Yeah. Okay. So the things I'm most accomplishment that I am the most proud of, I guess. I guess it would say, oh, I know what it is. The purity of the creative space. And when I say that, it's not through the likes of me. Like, I'm not saying I'm just this 100% pure person, but the people that are attached to the creative space, when you come to the creative space, it's no weird vibes. It's no big eyes, little U's. It's no, I'm up here, you're down there. I have this many followers and you don't. It's none of that when you come to the creative space. It's literally just a community of people who are just happy to either be creative, figure out that they are creative, and just how to tie the creativity and Christ together. Because sometimes being a creative person, who is a believer, who believes in God and things like that, sometimes we tend to separate the two, because I did that. I felt like there is no way to merge the two because I just didn't understand how. Right. But that's one huge accomplishment. And I don't know if that's really an accomplishment because it's not something that I did, but I'm just grateful that the creative space is a place where it's pure vibes. Like, anybody that comes through, you're somebody. It's just like, hey, what's up? Like, it's not nothing on the, especially in New York, it's none of that. Like, New York vibes in there, it's none of that. That's one thing. And what's the second part?
The other part was how have they positively influenced individuals we aim to elevate and encourage?
So I feel like the purity of the creative space, the pureness of this movement, it encouraged people to join, it encouraged people to stay, it encouraged people to be themselves and figure out and have a space where they can just figure out who they are, even as people, like outside of just creativity, as a person themselves, who they are themselves. Like, they were able to figure it out because of the fact that when you come here, you don't have to have it figured out. Like, we're all trying to figure it out together. Like, even when I'm teaching, there's some times when I'm teaching, I'm like, you guys may know more than me, so unmute your mics and share your perspective, because we can all learn from each other. And then I also tell them almost every session, if there's a question that you guys have and I don't know it, there are people that I'm around that I will ask and find out the information. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I know it all. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, I have all the answers. Just you ask, and if I can't answer it, I'll come back to y'all next week with the answer, because it's just like, this is a community event. I don't know more than, I may know more because I may study a little bit more, but that doesn't take away the fact that you may know something in this field that I may not know. So I just encourage everybody has a voice.
You're never supposed to learn. And like, even going back to like what you stated in the beginning and when you was answering the first part of this question, as Christians, we oftentimes try to sway away from the worldly people, right? But the word always say, you do not conform, but you transform. So we need to actually go into those places and be friends with these people to show them what's on the other side, the beauty on the other side, and we're not aliens. You could be yourself and be a woman of God, a man of God, so definitely I want to encourage you, as well as others who are listening, who are battling with this. Just understand that you are called to go into these places and bring back servants, bring back children of God, and allow them to see that whose they are. A lot of people forget whose they are, because of the mistakes. The mistakes don't define you. Yesterday's mistakes don't define you. Today is a brand new day in the land of the living. You must always start the day with affirmations. I am better than my yesterday. I am going to be great. So that's just a little bit of what I'm gonna say of encouragement.
And it's cool that, so that's another thing that Creative Space has allowed me to even, I guess, unlock within myself, is that like, I don't have to change myself to be around other people or vice versa. So like, I realized that the more that I was literally just being myself was the more that like people of the world came and asked me about something about God, or how can I, because the thing is, I don't walk around as if like, we're better than. And sometimes Christians can have that type of like vibe to them where it can become intimidating to people who are not necessarily on the same path. And it's just like, what's the point of you if you're judging other people when we're literally supposed to be, breaking bread with these people? Like, it's okay to sit down and go out to eat with somebody that may not be on the same type of time as you. Like, it's not that serious. And thing is, if it is that serious, then you have a personal problem. That means that you can't control yourself in these environments because they can sway you versus vice versa.
Yes.
So that means you have to look at yourself, because it's just like, why can't you hang out with somebody that may not be on the same whatever? Don't let them sway you. If that's the case, like, be strong on who you are and have their beliefs. And that's one thing that I like live by, no matter what environment I go in, because it's like, it seems that, the creative industry can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess very free-spirited, to the point where it seems like their morals are a little bit different. And I've always lived by the fact that, yes, I may be around you, but you do what you're doing and you know what I stand for. And there we have no problems. I'm not trying to sway you. I'm naturally being myself. And if you just tend and just so happen to ask questions or come on the side of me helping you come to Christ, sure. But that's not my intention when I'm with you. Like, I'm with you just because I'm with you, not to bring you on to my side. And I hope it's the same on the other end, like, where we can coexist. It doesn't have to be a competition. It doesn't have to be any of that. We can literally coexist. And I think once we get to the point of respecting where people are in their own journeys, it'll be much easier to vibe with people. Just respect people in their journey and keep going. Like, don't try to pull somebody out of their journey prematurely. Like, you are on their journey with them for a reason. And once you realize that, and you know your place in this person's journey, then you can operate and the person can flourish.
Absolutely.
That's my take on that.
Amazing answer and amazing elaboration. All right, so moving on to the next question, right? In the journey of founding this organization, what unique challenges did you encounter in supporting and equipping creatives, and how did you overcome them?
So the challenge that I faced, and I'm still facing it now, is, I would say, a strong team. And I say that not saying that the people that I've had before was not strong or anything like that. It's just, going with the ebbs and flows of what the creative space comes with. Like, the creative space is not something that you can just do in your spare time. I've realized that people that tried to do it in their spare time, it did not work because it was a consistent what's the word I'm looking for? Clashing of heads.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the creative space is not something that you can do in your spare time. It does take up some time sometimes, because the thing is, we're responsible for other people. So it's not even just about me or, what this person got going on. It's about other people and how we're helping other people grow. So it's like, it's hard to find, because everybody has something going on, and I respect that. So it's hard to find people who's like, this is big on their plate, not little. You know what I'm saying? This is a big side on their plate, not small. And so I've had great people work with me for the creative space. But again, people have gone on and worked on their own things, which is great. Like, they're successful. But I never wanted to tie somebody to something and stop them from achieving their goals and their dreams and what they have going on. So it's just like, if the creative space is taking away from that, drop the creative space and go do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that struggle, because it's just like, you lead a group of creative people, and then you have a team of creative people working on their own thing. And it's like, when they need to go do their thing, they need to do their thing, and the creative space is still there. So it just became a little tough trying to, because when I first started, like the show and everything, I did that by myself with a friend of mine who helped me backstage, and that was it. Like, it was literally like a one-man band, and then sometimes I had the support of this friend or whatever. So it did become a lot. It was a little overwhelming. And then, like, when we specifically talking about our shows, now when we had like our in-person event, we had a lot more help. And you saw it because of the success of our first event. Like, we had a lot more help. My family came. I had a few friends help and put their hands to the plow, whatever the case may be. But day in and day out stuff is kind of harder, because again, people have lives, people have things to do. So it's just really finding that. And so to answer the second part of that question is, how did I overcome? I'm still overcoming that. And one thing that I do is, when I pray, I continuously ask God for strength to do what he told me to do. Because I'm just like, God, you told me to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was my choice, I would literally like not probably really do it much. But I'm like, God, you told me to do it. So if you told me to do it, that means that you're giving me the strength and the capacity to be able to carry this out. So that's one thing. That's how I overcome. I literally have to ask God every day when I pray, God, give me strength to keep doing this. And I even ask him for forgiveness sometimes too, for the times where I'm not giving my best to the vision. Like, I take it as an honor that God has told me to do something like this and lead other people. And it's just like, there were moments when I probably wasn't treating it how God would have wanted me to. So I had to ask for forgiveness. Like, okay, God, I apologize. Just give me the strength to keep going and doing it how you see it, because this is kingdom work. And the thing is, I strongly believe in excellence within the kingdom. And sometimes it seems kind of opposite in the kingdom. Like, it seems like we're the last to come on to things. Like, the world is advanced, and then the kingdom is kind of like slacking. So, I'm just like, God, I want to start on time, because that's excellence to me. The world starts on time, so we should be able to as well. I want our equipment to be top of the line, just like the world. I want our look to be, I'm not saying I want to look like the world, but they have a standard, so we should as well, because we serve God. Like, he's perfect. You know what I'm saying? So we should aim to be close to that, at least. So, yeah.
So you said a lot about prayer. Do you happen to pray about those people who come into your life and you're trying to bring on to take care of your baby? Because this is a baby. The creative space is a baby, and you must nurture it as a baby. There's different stages. There's the milk stage, then there's the softer foods, and then there's the solid foods, right? Mm-hmm. But do you ask those that you put on your team, what is your vision as well? Like, do you explain your vision and your mission for the creative space to these other people to see if it aligns?
I have in the past. I mean, I probably could have done better. Because I noticed that, and this is, I guess, a tip that I would give to like other people who are starting things, and you have a team of people, try to be in a vicinity or meet with your team, if not once a week, every other week, because it keeps in the forefront of their mind of what they're doing and what they're doing it for. And that's where I slacked off. I slacked off with thinking, okay, everybody understands the vision. I said it the first time. I shouldn't have to repeat myself. So that's what it is. But now I'm thinking back and I'm just like, no, we should meet every week if we can, so that we build that community. We build that, okay, this is what we're doing it for. We're doing it to please God. We're doing it, to serve other people. And that will keep up like the spark, because just like, okay, we're reminded of what we're doing this for. We're not just carrying out tasks and checking it off a list. So that's a tip that I would give. Like, make sure you meet with your teams weekly, if not bi-weekly. So it's like you keep that, that bond together.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Um, Another question would be, as we mark our second anniversary, what exciting initiatives or projects are on the horizon that would further equip and inspire creatives?
Okay, so we have, what do we have coming up? So our next, I guess, meeting is called Journey to Refinement. So again, it's a group. We meet every Thursday. We're gonna start meeting every Thursday in January, but this month, we're meeting December 14th. And Journey to Refinement, if you know what the word refinement means, it's just, it's just a group of people on a journey, on their way to basically being diamond cut. Diamonds go through a process. And so, during this process, they chip away things and they keep things. So we have a Journey to Refinement session coming up December 14th. And then next year, we're traveling with the Cre8ive space. So it's basically an initiative. We're taking what we do and what we can offer other creatives out of state. So next month, January 6th at 6 p.m., we're going to New Jersey. And it's basically like, we're going to rejuvenate creatives. That's what we're doing. That's our goal. And that's going to be through breakout sessions, like the comment says. Breakout sessions, prayer, worship, and the word. So my prayer is that every creative that comes leaves with ignition. We want to serve, I was having a conversation today, and we want to serve the creative holistically, not just spiritually. Thank you, Abe. Not just spiritually, but how are you emotionally? How are you, regular, like physically? Like, do you stay in bed too long? Do you not sleep? Like, things like that. Like, just serving the creative as a whole person. That is our goal when we travel. So our first stop is Jersey, and we're going to be in Bound Brook, New Jersey on January 6th. And then you guys, whoever's watching, y'all get this news for free. We're going to Washington, D.C. March 16th. So we're going to Jersey, and then we're going to Washington. So that's the big news coming up. And then we're thinking about bringing this show back. So, if y'all want this show back, put some hearts or comment in the thing if y'all want the show back. But yeah, that's the news for next year.
Growth. I love what I'm hearing. That's what's up. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I'll be extremely successful. And this is just the beginning, honestly. Like, this is really just the beginning. The momentum is building. Just keep it going. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the success story. And I would like to ask, could you share a standout success story that embodies the impact of the organization and how it had on nurturing and elevating the creative of individuals within our community?
Sorry, can you read that one more time?
The question was, could you share a standout success story that embodies the impact our organization has had on nurturing and elevating the creativity of individuals within our community?
A success story. Wow, this is hard. I guess a continuous success story for me would be people who have come to the creative space feeling, I guess I'm going into our next segment, feeling creatively dead. And then, they start creating. So like, we've had people come, photographer. I remember he came our first service and he was like, mind you, I didn't even really know that this guy took pictures really. I just randomly was like, yo, can you come take pictures at our service? He was like, yes. And then after it was over, he was just like, I'm glad that you asked me because I literally was about to quit. Like I was just gonna give my camera up and not do it anymore. And I'm just like, and he continued, now he takes pictures now continuously. Like, I send him to other people that ask me for photographers. We have another one, somebody who stopped writing, had creative block. They're working on their book and stuff now. So those are continuous success stories for me that, that we're on the right path and that like people come, we, even outside of creativity, we've experienced somebody being healed. Like, they had pain and we prayed with them and they didn't have pain no more. There's a whole bunch of stories that's just like, I think for me, I don't know if it's just one, it's just a continuous, like, what you're doing with what you're getting. That's important to me. So even in our weekly sessions, I'm just like, okay, guys, we have guests teaching, I'm teaching. What are we doing with this information? We're not gonna just keep coming here every week talking about the same thing, crying over the same thing. What are the action steps that we've taken during the course? So that's why sometimes at the end of our sessions, we'll give like mini assignments just to put it in you to know, like, okay, I'm not stagnant. I have to continue going. So,
yeah. Definitely. And it's funny you said that because oftentimes when I have like speaking engagements, I would like, one of the things I always try to like leave my audience with is use what's in your hand. Oftentimes we see other people's success and we try to embody their success and try to take the same route that they're taking or they took, and we fail.
Yep.
And we're struggling. But if you use what's in your hands, it works for you. God has blessed you with gifts and talents that you can do it effortlessly. You know what I'm saying? So use what's in your hand and bring that to the table. The last thing I'm going to ask you is, if you would speak to yourself 5 years ago, what is like 2 words of encouragement that you would give yourself 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I was 21. 5 years ago, I think I would say, well, I didn't know that, I would have the creative space ever. Like, how like you live and you're just like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I didn't see the creative space. I did see, myself leading people, but I didn't know it would look like this. Yes. Right? Because I didn't see this around. I grew up in church, so I saw more of like a pastoral type of role and things like that. And I'm just like, that's not me. So 5 years ago, I think I would say like, your path is going to look different and it's okay. Like, you're almost going to be like, I've been told this a few times, but you're going to be like the Noah. You're going to be told to build something with no blueprint but God's voice. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And it can become a difficult role because you cannot look to somebody for that thing. You honestly got to listen to God and wise counsel about it, because there are things that the creative space has done or wanted to do, and it's just like, I try to look for other people that did it so I can try to like model after it, and God continuously reminds me, like, do it how I showed you, not what everybody else is doing, not what this person says, that person says. Do it how I showed you. And then if you get the wise counsel, check with me, make sure I agree with this or I don't. You know what I'm saying? So 5 years ago, I definitely told myself, like, you're gonna build something that looks a little different, and you're not gonna really have anything to look to but God, and it's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I think this right here is to wrap up this segment. I just want to encourage you to keep pushing, keep doing your thing. You are definitely blessed. You're great.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, thank you so much, Ethan. I appreciate you for this. This was definitely great. I did not see any questions in the comments, so I guess everybody's cool. But y'all give it up for Mr. Hodge. Put some hearts, put some comments in the. We can't see the hearts on here, but I see it on Facebook. Put some hearts. Thank you, Ariane. I appreciate you, Ethan. Thank you so much.
And I appreciate.
All right, so y'all, that was our first segment. Let me know how y'all enjoying. Let me check in with you guys. How are you guys enjoying this? You guys enjoyed him. I see the claps. I see thank you, sir. Yeah, Ethan is great. Hey, Pastor Reggie. So, y'all, we about to go on a commercial break. Okay? Nothing long at all. But I just want to say thank you for everybody that is here right now watching. Again, we are 2 years old, okay? Like, it's crazy. Let me do these quick announcements real quick, and then we go on our break. So, yeah, you guys already heard, our Journey to Refinement group is in session December 14th. It's going to be great, you guys. We're going to do a little bit different this time, so make sure you join. And make sure you're on time, okay? Because some of y'all be late. Make sure you're on time, okay? Also, we moved our group chat to WhatsApp. So the link is in the comments. It should, yes, right there. But click it in the comments. All you have to do is click it, join us. That's where we put our announcements. You get the link for our meetings, stuff like that. Just click the link, join. I encourage people to talk back, but sometimes people be a little shy. It's okay. We're building it out. So just join us, all right? The last announcement, second to last announcement. You guys heard it. TCS Takes New Jersey. And actually, the pastor that is allowing us to use his space is in the comments. Mr. Pastor Reggie Williams. So Meet us in Jersey, January 6th at 6 p.m. Make your plans now. Bound Brook, New Jersey. I think it's 180 West Union Avenue, Bound Brook. I think I got it right. If I got it right, you owe me $5. Okay? Bound Brook, New Jersey. Be there. Or be square, my friends. Nah. And lastly, I need everybody to pay attention. Turn your air volume up. If you wear hearing aids, turn it up, okay? We are looking for volunteers. You guys heard my whole spiel about the team, right? So we're looking. Did I get it right? I think I did. Ooh, y'all owe me $5. I got the address right. So anyway, we're looking for volunteers. So it is a TV show. We're working on something. I don't want to say it too early, but we want to continue the show. But if we want to continue the show, we need help. We need volunteers. So we need producers. We need social media help. We need administration. So if this is something that you are into, if you're looking to like grow in that area, hit me up, okay? DM me, message me on Facebook, YouTube, leave a comment, and let me know if you want to join this group. Well, it's not really a group yet, but it's going to be a group if you join, okay? We're looking for that. All right. But we're out of here for our commercial break.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Shakur Gibson here from the Young Lions Brotherhood, and we are here to come out and tell you to save the date. January 6th, the Cre8ive Space is linking up with New Jersey, and we are out here for our night of worship, healing, deliverance, intercession, you name it. Listen, you don't want to miss this event. It's one of the first worship nights of the new year. So what other way to start off your new year than in worship? Meet us at the Cre8ive Space. Be there or be square.
Just tuned into the Cre8ive show. Mic check on game. So now that I use my gifts, I use it more so just to let people know that mental health is very important and that they should absolutely take it serious, no matter if you're in therapy, if you're not in therapy, if you believe in it or not. To some degree, implement some form of self-care. And with that, I just made content for Instagram, really. And then, you know, I work with people within the church realm. I cover events, more so worship events. Ready? Always ready. My mental health journey with creativity by simply recording / vlogging the way that I implement self-care.
So why did you start your podcast?
All right, so the Life is Tricky podcast came about because I am my own testimony. I have been suicidal since I was about 7 or 8 years old. Well, I'm no longer suicidal. I'll throw that out there, and I'm gonna get raw with it. The very first time I attempted suicide, I was a child. I got in trouble for something that was so minute now to think about it. But because I was spoiled and I never heard the word no, that to me was like, yo, you serious? And I'm not gonna say what I did because I don't want to give out, you know, any ideas, but that was the very first time. And then when I was 13, I was clinically diagnosed with depression. And from there, kind of like always was a thought, but I never quite acted on it until my adult life, when adulting was adulting. And in 2019, because of my friend, I was just like, listen, I had a deep prayer session with God, and I just laid it out there. And my final thoughts in the prayer was, listen, it's not working. Many attempts, it almost actually happened. It's you. You don't want it to happen, God, but let your will be.
We back, baby. I apologize for the orientation, you know, guys. We're back. The last thing you just saw was one of our sponsors from United Youth. So I need you guys to clap it up for them. They sponsored us, and I just appreciate them. They're also a group of people, young adults, and they have a great community. So that was beautiful. Walker, Michael, Isaac, everybody, Marty, everybody that I know over at United. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For sponsoring us. And if you guys want to be a sponsor, I'm gonna tell you how right now. So, basically, the Creative Space is a self and donation funded group, right? As you guys know, all this type of stuff costs money. You know, that costs money. This is this better. Might be my mic. I do bad with these mic situations. Yeah, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm gonna get it better, perfect the next time. But everything costs money. This costs money, but that has nothing to do with you guys. But so everything costs money. So, you know, we are working on a. Thank you, Isaac. Isaac is my fellow content creating brother. So, you know, we're working on just getting more donations and more sponsors so that we can do things like this and, you know, pay the people that come on with us and all those type of stuff. So if you would like to be a blessing, if you would like to donate, if you would just like to send it because you're just like, yo, I like the look of the show. I like that light. This light was like $8 on Amazon. So if you want to send that back, we appreciate it, you know? But again, you guys have been giving for these past 2 years. That's how we've been able to get the things that we've been able to get done. Every single in-person event, let me stop right here. Let me make sure my mic is clear. Every single event that you guys have seen the Cre8ive Space do has been free of charge. Nobody had to pay anything to get in. Nobody had to do anything. So, you know, you guys see we have the lights, we have the musicians, we have the speakers. Those things we got to pay for. So again, I appreciate everybody that has donated and given to us these past 2 years. And we want to continue. We want to be greater. We want to be better. So if you feel led, please don't mind. Just drop a Cash App. We have PayPal, all of it. Just go ahead. But we're moving on into our next segment. I'm excited, you guys. Super duper duper excited. Let me tell you guys this story. So I was on TikTok one day, and my TikTok doesn't look like everybody else's TikTok. Okay, you guys know what ASMR is? If you guys know what ASMR is, let me know in the comments. Let me know I'm not by myself. ASMR, I forgot the what you call it, but ASMR is basically like something with your brain and ears and eyes or something. It's just like you like the way something sounds, like it calms you or whatever. So that's what my TikTok is full of. Okay, that's not what my TikTok is full of. That is what my TikTok. It's not quiet videos. It's like different sounds. Like, so it's like somebody could be like, I don't know, like going like this or something. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but scratching something or whatever. It's just like the random items or like crunching those balls that like have like the hard shell on the outside. It's like those type of things or soap crust, right? So my TikTok is kind of full of those because like I like those sounds. Like this specific one's is just like, it's so cool. It's almost like white noise, like a TV static, but I don't like that noise. The specific ones. Yes, Raya, like slime and stuff like that, like the sound of it. So my TikTok is full of those, right? So every now and then, yes, Isaac, even though I hate those, the eating or the crunching, like don't eat like that, no. But yes, so one day I was scrolling and my TikTok, because it's really of that, I don't see much trendy videos. I don't see much of those trendy dancing videos, stuff like that. You know, I have videos here and there of like, you know, great content because that's what people I follow. Verification piece. So one day I was scrolling and our next guest, he popped up and his video was in the portrait landscape mode, but portrait wise on TikTok. So it made me stop. I'm just like, yo, who is this, right? The cinematography was amazing. So I was just like, wow, like, you know, it really caught my eye. So I'm just like, yo, who is this person? So then I went on a TikTok. I don't even know how it went, but I think I found his Instagram first or YouTube first. But when I found his YouTube, I went on like a rabbit hole. Like I just watched like all of his videos. That's like, you know, you find somebody good, something good, and you just like drag it out. So that was me. Like I was just watching all his videos. And it was tech videos. And I'm not even like, I'm a tech person, but not like that. If you get what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna like watch a whole bunch of reviews of tech, but it's just the way he did it. I'm just like, it makes me want to see it. Like I don't know how to explain it. Y'all gotta go watch it, and y'all gotta see tonight. But he's super dope. Found his whatever, hit him up on Instagram, just like, yo, like we have a show this week, like let me know. And he answered like almost off rip, and then he's here. So I need y'all first, when he comes on, put some hearts and stuff, put some comments in, and then find his YouTube. Don't leave the show though. Do that after. Find his YouTube channel and subscribe, because you know it's lit. So y'all help me introduce to some, what's the term? Introduce to some, present to others. D Dames.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Woo! So you guys, this is D Dames. Oh, I didn't even say that. I was so excited. I didn't even say the segment name. Sparking your creativity. So that's what we're talking about right now. So again, if you are creative in the room, I need you guys to take this and share it with another creative, because we're going to talk about sparking your creativity, feeling creatively dead, all that type of stuff. Get your questions together, boom, boom. Because he may not be able to answer your question on YouTube, so he's here now. So ask him now. But D Dames, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I love talking about creativity and getting into it. So what's up, y'all? How you doing? Facebook, YouTube, what's up?
I'm excited too. So let us know who you are. You know, I gave my spiel, but there's more to you. So take it away.
So I'm a creative in New York City. I'm a tech and lifestyle creative. So what I do is I take a tech product and I integrate it in my lifestyle, and I'll make a cinematic story behind it. So, but I also highlight like adulting in New York City. It kind of sounds like two separate worlds, but the way I make the videos make it blend together.
Yes, it's true. Like he has like a video, the iPad video, and it's just like he's talking about the iPad and the specs of the iPad, but how the iPad helps him in his adulting like life. It was just cool. And the thing is, I have an iPad, and after that video, I kid you not, I told my sister Danielle, I'm just like, yo, I'm using my iPad like OD now, because like I had it and I'm like not even doing it justice. So I downloaded, like I had Procreate already, I had all of that. I'm just like, nah, I'm about to like use it. So y'all, if you have an iPad, go watch that video, because you'll see you wasting your money right now if you're not using the iPad the way he used the iPad. I'm telling you. So we are switching gears now. I'm about to be the person that asks the questions now. One of my favorite things to do, and I have a bunch of questions, so we're going to try to get to it. I'm just going to go straight in. Again, if you guys have questions about his creative process, you know, cinematography, all of that, make sure you put in the comments. So the first question I want to start off with, and I'm not going to act like I'm not reading, because I am. The first question I want to start off with is, do you set specific intentions or goals for your creative projects? And how does this impact the direction of your work?
So when it comes to goals, I think my goal with every video is to like create a vibe. So I'm very focused on the music and the visual experience of my videos. So off rip, that's the first thing I'm thinking of. And in terms of achieving that, I use my iPad, and I have a mood board, I storyboard, I script, and I research. So literally everything that goes into pre-production, such as those things in location scouting, is everything I do before I start shooting, to execute my goal on just creating like a vibey video that offers value as well, not just entertainment, but something that you can go home and be like, oh, like actually I want to do that, like what he's doing, because that would help me in this area, or I never thought about it this way. So that's kind of like my goal and like my intention, just to make a super vibey video that's like informative.
Yeah. So, you know, watching your videos, it's like you can tell, because the thing is, being like an editor myself, there were times when I used to make videos and I would just throw like a song on after I already, you know, put my clips together. And, you know, over time I realized that like, it's not as, like, you don't hit as good when you don't have the song in mind. So like now I'll listen to songs before, so like, honestly, it helps me pick the vibe for the video actually. And then I go from there. So you can definitely tell that very intentional in your videos, and that honestly keeps people like watching and wanting more, because like the way you present it. So it's just like super dope.
Sure.
So you guys, he just gave us his creative process: music, vibes, location scouting. And you know what's so crazy is that like, it sounds basically like you're shooting a movie for yourself. Like you're doing all of the things that they do for like movies for yourself. So that shows how, I guess, serious you take your craft And I think, like, as creatives, that's something that, like, we all need to take away, is that, some of these things are not going to just fall into our lap, or, opportunities not going to just fall into our lap. We have to give what we want. So if we want high-end brands to reach out to us, we have to give that. And that's one thing I'm learning now. So it's definitely cool to see somebody like you who takes their craft serious. Like, it's like, yeah, it's like you shooting a movie for yourself, and every video that you pop out is just like, it's like another movie. So that's super dope.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. So another question I have is, can you share a challenging creative experience and discuss the lessons you learned from overcoming it?
I think so. With the video that you keep referencing, my iPad video, like, that was a super ambitious video, and I feel like a lot of times, like, when I'm trying to think outside the box, it creates like this kind of pressure, like you said, like, taking it very serious, like having like a pre-production, like, this isn't like some small stuff, like, we're creative, so like we should take it real serious. So I think I get really ambitious with my videos, and it was a time where it took me, I think, 3 or 4 months to finish that video, because it was
iPad video.
Yeah, because it was so ambitious, and I kept procrastinating, and I kept like announcing a date that I thought it would be done. Put it on YouTube. Put it on Instagram. It was gonna come this month. It ain't even finished yet. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go. And I'm like, this is becoming like a task right now. Like, this is crazy. So I think for that video, just being super ambitious kind of was setting me back. But I think because I planned it very well, it kind of propelled me forward. And I would say, like, outside of creating, I think I was looking at the prompt. It was like, I think it said, like, when you're creatively dead, like, how do you like spark that fire? And I think a lot of times, like, the answer isn't in your actual work. Like, a lot of the times the answers are in your personal life. Like, how do you show for yourself outside of creating? Like, is your mind, is your body, and your spirit, like, is all that aligned? And I think for me, when I was making that video, there were some parts where I wasn't aligned. Like, I'm not on my fitness routine, or I'm not on this. So it was kind of holding me back from creating. So it's like, being ambitious and not being on my P's and Q's could sometimes like cause like disturbances in the creative work. So
nice. And somebody commented and said, definitely agree. I get really ambitious, but even with the unexpected, it absolutely propels me forward in the end. That's true. And that leads me to this question. How do you strike a balance between having a structured creative process and allowing for spontaneous, free-flowing ideas?
That's the question right there. I feel like I don't got the right answer, because that's something I'm navigating now, because I used to be so caught up in like the pre-production work. So it's like, I'm not even gonna say, like, I script everything that I say. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm not even gonna say that because I didn't plan on saying that. But it was kind of killing the spontaneity. It was killing the creativity. So now it's like, I'll come up with a rough plan, and I still plan very thoroughly, but I do leave some room for just like spontaneity or like a quick thought. And I've noticed that when I do that, I come off more, I guess, personable, less calculated. Because like you're on the camera, like, we're not gonna pretend that we don't plan out everything.
Yeah.
Doing that could cause like some type of riff. You look just too like salesy. So like just kind of knocking it down. And it's like, if I don't got everything written out, I know how I feel about it. I'll just talk about it. So,
yeah.
But I'm still navigating those. It's a hard like little balance.
Yeah, and it's so funny because when I when I got this question or whatever, I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I don't really plan that much when it comes to like my creative stuff, which is, you know, it's not the greatest, because then you can tell sometimes. But it's just like some things, because I'm not great with scripts. That's the thing. So like, I can script something, but it's hard for me to like try to do it on video without trying to act like I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, the only way I would do a script is if like I have like a B-roll over me and I could like read right there. But like, it's hard for me to like do both. So I don't really plan as hard. Like, I recently have started to like, do the whole pre-production thing. But then I realized I felt like my greatest videos came when like I got inspiration right then and there. So like, there's a video that I did on Instagram recently, and I was drinking this new drink, this drink from like Trader Joe's. And I had put it down, and I'm just like, oh shoot, like let me do a video of what I'm doing right now, which is like editing or whatever. So I didn't even plan that. Like I didn't write nothing out about it. Like I literally just recorded it, you know. And I think like sometimes I see other creatives in their process and like they have this whole thing. So I have a whole content template on Notion that I use every now and then. But you know, for me, it's like something has to spark it. So it's just like I can see an angle, or see like a shot in a movie or something. I'm just like, oh, let me do that. And sometimes I feel like I should stop and like plan it so I can get it all together, because then my ending video, sometimes I'm just like, dang, I could have put that there. Or like, for example, my takeaway from my last video was I could have did a little bit more sound. I could have did sound design. I didn't have none. And I'm just like, if I planned that, I could have added the mouse click or the scroll. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's a catch-22. It's like we got to find like the balance between both of like planning as well as allowing spontaneity. So yeah.
It's tough.
No, it is. So this question, and I feel like you touched on it, but what daily habits or practices do you incorporate into your routine to foster and maintain creativity?
So number one thing is music. Like I got AirPods with me at all times. Like my friends know I got like 6 different headphones. Like you will never catch me outside without no AirPods. Like it's just music. I hear a dope song and I just immediately start cooking in my head. Like this fits, like the tonality of this song kind of fits what I'm going for. And I immediately start cooking up. That's the first thing, music. And I'm a former college athlete. I used to play college ball. So being an athlete, like it's just in me. So I go to the gym a lot. And it's so crazy to think like that's so unrelated to being a creative, depending on like what kind of creative you are. But like being in the tech and lifestyle field, it's like, oh, you go to the gym, but it's just like it helps center me. And when I'm centered, that's when I'm at my creative best. That's when I'm able to like come up with the dopest ideas or flush out an idea that I thought about, kind of threw away, and now it's like, oh, like it's actually let me bring this back. So music, the gym, I think that's really it. I do go on like a lot of like city walks. So like I do a lot of location scouting and just being in like different areas, different coffee shops with like different vibes to it also helps with me in my routine as well. So
that's dope. That's one thing I do wish about myself. I wish that the gym like gave me some type of like oomph in life, but it doesn't. Like honestly, like I'm planning on going like this week or next week. For real. Because I used to go a lot, maybe like 2 years ago, like before the pandemic, I used to go. And I definitely do feel like it helped. And also coffee shops too. It just depends on the coffee shop. Like if it's too quiet, it's just like no. If it's too loud, it's just like no. So it's again, I guess for creatives as well, like, you know, finding your like, I guess, center, or finding, you know, what works for you, because what might work for DJs may not work for me. Like the gym. I mean, I can see, you know, going to the gym after that, having the ideas flow. But yeah, find what works for you, music or going out and, you know, going on walks. I forgot I was going to say. I was going to say one thing, but I forgot. But another question I'm intrigued to know is, can you share a personal experience or moment that sparked a significant creative breakthrough in your life?
That sparked a significant creative breakthrough. Repeat it for me one more time.
Can you share a personal experience or moment that sparked a significant creative breakthrough in your life?
That's
so like
tough.
it was something that like, I don't know, that sparked, I don't know, that was like, okay, like I want to do this forever, or I want like, this is what I want to do right now, which is like, I guess, creating content, being into tech and stuff like that.
I feel like I'm not drawn from like one singular thing, because I watch so many different creative shows. Like I watch a lot of things, and I feel like I pull from a lot, which is why my content is able to be narrow enough to like have a specific audience, but broad enough to reach like different different niches or genres or whatever. So I can't think of like a singular thing that I saw, read, looked at, heard. It's just a multitude of different things. I watch fashion content people, and I don't do no type of fashion, but in my head it makes sense, because like we all people, no matter how like what genre you're in or what niche you're in, like we all wear clothes, we all like to get fresh. And it's like, do I implement that in the tech? Like So I'm saying like AirPods Max, everybody throwing the fit on with that. You see,
Yeah.
like it's a fashion statement now.
Mhm.
I see that. How can I implement that in my content? And now it's like it's authentic because of tech, and I can reach the fashion community. So I just pull from a lot of different things that like kind of give me a culmination of inspiration. I can't think of a single thing.
That's dope. Somebody in the comments says sometimes the environment really helps for creativity to flow. Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, for me, I may not create my best work like sitting in the library. You know, like even when I was like in college or whatever, it wasn't always the best for me to stay in the library because it was just so quiet. It's like I needed some type of like ambient noise. So if it's like hearing taxis honk or something like that, or people like talking on the phone, it's like that helps me, you know, focus on my studies. So yeah, Gabby, like you said, just finding that environment and going with it. So like I noticed that like recently I started working just like this, like with that light, with the background like this and the lights low. It like sparks my creativity to like vibe. I don't know, it's like some type of like vibe that makes you want to like be more like creative or keep going. So definitely just finding it and sticking with it. This question, and I know a lot of creators would love to know this. How do you deal with creative blocks, and what advice would you give to creatives facing challenges in their work?
Yeah, so this kind of go back to like what I was teasing earlier. I feel like creative blocks. So like I'm like a visual person. So like block doesn't start at like the creative pathway. It usually shows someone else, right? And that's what I'm talking about. Like when you Tom Thibodeau, he's the basketball coach for the New York Knicks. And he has a quote that he says to his players. He's like, when your home is in order, you play better on the court. So like say like Steph Curry, like he may have and this is just like a rough example, but he may have a rough shooting night. Steph Curry put on reps. He usually don't have an off night. But what else in his life could be like that? Like that block showed up somewhere else. It could be something in his personal life, something that he didn't do. So I feel like the creative blocks that I've had, like usually when I'm not hitting the gym, like when I'm not on my team, or if I'm not like really praying like that. First, it shows head there first when I'm not on my P's and Q's, and then it goes to the creative stuff, and that's like, whoa, I kind of gotta put the laptop away, center myself, and then I can get back to it and let the creative juices flow.
Yeah, that's very, you made a great point about like, you know, your your life outside of creativity. The lack there literally like flows into, and the thing is I thought about it like that, but I really didn't, because it's just like I think now when somebody approaches me about creative block, I think the first time I ask them is just like, you know, is your room clean? Or, you know, did you eat? Have you gone outside, you know, taking in fresh air? Because, you know, being in New York, you know, we don't get much sun when it gets cold, and that can affect us as well. You know what I'm saying? And there are people that like, there was this creative that I spoke to, he lives in like Texas, and he's just like, you know, he has sun all the time. So the way his mood was totally different from like somebody like me. Cause he was always like on 10, I'm very happy, And I'm not saying like I'm not happy, but it's just like the weather I feel has an effect, if you allow it, on your life. And then like you said, in turn it bleeds into like your creativity. Yeah, Gabby's saying it makes sense now. So it's just like if you have creative block, there's something else in your life that's not all the way there. And it could be simple as like disappointment. Like you're disappointed in yourself for something that you did or didn't do, or a goal that you didn't meet. So now you're disappointed in yourself, and it's going into your creativity. Like it's flowing into that.
Sure.
I just wanted to, do you guys, does anybody have any questions before I say my last piece about this? You can send it in now, but what advice would you give to, you know, upcoming creatives, somebody in tech, you know, any content creators, things like that? Like, what advice would you give?
So I've been having like, I'll be having like these like grandiose ideas, and I'll be using Threads a lot, and I'll be putting out my thoughts. And I think if you're up and coming creative, don't focus on making it perfect. Focus on making it timeless. So like when you go back and listen to certain songs, you go back and look at certain movies, the quality may not look that good, the resolution may not look that good,
Yep.
the beats may not be as trendy, but there's something about it that keeps you going back to it.
Yeah.
It's on that, because we get so caught up in perfection. Like, oh, I gotta have the lighting this way, I gotta have this that way. I gotta do this, and it's like focus more on your messaging, because at the end of it, messaging trumps how good something looks. Because everything could look good, you feel what I'm saying? Like, but that doesn't mean it's valuable.
Yep.
So I think just focus on making it timeless rather than perfect, and you'll be good.
Well, that was a great nugget. I want to repost that. I think I'm gonna thread that tonight. I need somebody. I'm gonna come back to the live, but definitely. And I'm taking that like personally, because you know, being on like Instagram and posting Instagram reels and TikTok stuff like that, you can get caught up in like the trending beat, or making sure that you have the 3-point lighting system going, and it's just like you do all of that, and then you lose sight of like, you know, the point of the actual video itself. So that was definitely a takeaway of mine. Thank you so much for being on. I genuinely enjoyed this conversation. Definitely insightful. We got a peek on his creative journey. If you guys, your YouTube name is your name, right?
Yeah, D Dames.
Yep.
Yeah.
So guys, follow him, subscribe to him on YouTube. It is D Dames right there. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, you guys, I don't see any questions. So again, D Dames, thank you so much for the last minute like get together. I appreciate it, and I hope this is not the last time that we connect. Definitely want to see more of you, and keep doing what you're doing, because you know I'm not just watching, but people are literally like watching. So thank you so much.
Not for sure. Thank you for having me. What's up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? Have a good night.
Later.
Stay on.
Okay, later. Thank you. All right, y'all. So that was D Dames. We just had a great conversation about sparking creativity. So if you don't feel sparked, then I don't know what's up. But then again, like he said, you got to you got to check your personal life, because something is not right. You should feel sparked at this point, because it's just, we got to get together. So I need to know in the comments. I'm going to take a break right here. I need to know comments. How many of you are feeling inspired and or ignited? Oh, somebody named Cheryl said, I enjoy YouTube, D Dames. See, D Dames, he famous. He got fans. They commented. So y'all need to subscribe, I'm telling you. But yeah, how many of you guys feel inspired? I need to see that in the comments. How many of you are inspired, are ignited? You're about to go do something with yourself, create content, design something. Let me know, because that's the point of this. Yeah, Gabby, right? Like, it's not just you. I'm literally like, I'm inspired. Yep, learned a lot. And that's the point. That's the point of you guys being here with us. So again, I appreciate all of y'all. So we're going on another break, because I need to drink some water. So our next and last segment coming up is the surprise segment. It's not really a surprise, because I put it on the thing. I put it on the program, but it's still a surprise. Right, Rhea? Feel like I need to evaluate. No, seriously. But it's good though. It's good, because listen, we're right at the cusp of the new year. We about to go into the new year, so we're starting early. Like we're getting game early. We can start early, getting yourself together, looking at, you know, things personally, like Rhea said. So the next segment, we have my mom. So tell your friend, tell your brother, tell your homies that my mom is coming back on the show. She is also no stranger of the creative space. So yeah, before we go, I'm gonna make a few announcements and we're gonna go on our break. All right. First announcement is that, again, the creative space will be in our Journey to Refinement session, December 14th. Mark your calendars, reminders, because y'all need to be, I was gonna say in the building. We're not physical yet, but y'all need to be in the virtual room. Okay? In the room. 12:14 at 8 o'clock. Be there or be whatever, because square is kind of corny. Next, we are gonna be in Bound Brook, New Jersey, y'all. We are taking the creative space on the road. So this initiative is it ain't just for New York. We sparking creativity everywhere we go. Hey, I got bars. Nah, that wasn't really a bar. But we sparking. So everybody around us better be creating something, doing something, doing what God told them to do. And if not, you got to evaluate your personal life. But then again, that's what we come in there for. So you need to meet us in the building. Now that is physical. Meet us in the building. 108 West Union, Bound Brook, New York. Bound Brook, New Jersey. Okay? Lastly, if you want to be, second to lastly, if you want to be a support to the creative space, so donate whatever you feel led to give to help us fund this vision, to help us continue to grow and go about doing everything we need to do. All right? So, and we're looking for show volunteers, people that would love to be a part of this team to help us build this show out. If you are into production of any kind, administration, social media management, just DM me. It's just that simple. Tech, you have kids that are into this stuff, we would love to have them. All right, just let us know. Join us. All right, we'll be back. Biggity back. Oh yeah, don't forget to join us on WhatsApp. If you are creative, you need a community, prayer, vibes, fun, no judgment, that's the creative space. Period. So join us on WhatsApp. Click the link in the chat. It'll take you right to our community. You see all of our stuff there. Introduce yourself when you come. Say, hey, I'm whatever, and this is what I do, and who I do it for. All right, I'm gonna go. Okay. We back. We gonna be back in a blink of an eye. By the time you blink your eyes like 5 times, we gonna be back. All right. All right. We gonna switch it up. We gonna do this.
Tricky, but Jesus took the wheel on me. And ever since, I have not had any thoughts whatsoever. Didn't want to attempt it. I promise you. It was that one prayer. And I think God knew, like, I was serious that time. So then during the pandemic, we didn't have anything to do. I was like, all right, what am I supposed to do? Prayed on it. And podcasting, I learned about it, and I just dived into it. And the reason why I continue it is because my reach. I never quite understood like how important mental health was. For me, it was just giving information to people who could relate to me, honestly speaking. But when I do episodes, or if I even go on breaks and people are like, so what happened? It's not like I'm done with it, but I too have to make sure that my information is as honest and transparent as it could be, because I still struggle with mental health. I may not be struggling with suicide, but every day I have to pray myself into having a positive day, because one thing could just set me off. And that alone came with a lot of practice, being intentional and purposeful in wanting to live a fruitful life as a vessel.
What methods do you use to make sure to be intentional about your day?
First and foremost, my methods to being intentional about my days, I start my day with gospel music every single day. In the car, wherever I'm going, I pray over my car, I pray for my safety, but then I also pray for my life every single day. It's a habit at this point, and I noticed that if I miss that one moment, as soon as I get in my car in the morning, my day is off until I reroute myself. But not only that, I don't even listen to secular music that much. Like, I really have to be in the mood to like listen to some R&B or something, but my day is full of God. And that's on purpose, because I know where I once was. So I have to be intentional to remain on the path that I'm on.
What will you tell somebody that is currently a creative who is struggling with their mental health? What would you tell them? How would you tell them to dig themselves out the ditch?
As a creative, I find that a lot of creatives, always want it to be perfect. And I struggle with perfection. It's bad. But I understand that taking breaks are important. But while you're taking a break, still work on your craft. Whether it's practicing something, learning something, still work on your craft on the back end, because when you are ready to push something for the public to take in, it will have a different meaning to you, not just to your audience, but it would just mean a lot more to you because you know what you worked on to push that out there. Finding what works for you as far as self-care goes, because I can say, oh, get your nails done, but that might not work for the next person. A massage, prayer, hanging out with your friends, some R&R time with yourself. There are many ways to get back to where you need to be, but it's a matter of trial and error, finding what really works for you. And a lot of it is intention and prayer.
So you guys, thank you, Riz, AJ, thank you so much for joining us. We have one more segment, y'all. One more. Stay with us, okay? Stay here. Thank you to everybody that gave congratulations. I just didn't want to cut the guests off, but I saw YP Nadine. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you so much. So you guys, again, like I said, this guest is no stranger to the creative space, and then on top of that, is no stranger to me. So we have somebody. She's looking at me, I think, crazy through the backstage. But we have somebody. I need drum rolls. I need something. I need some. We have my mom with us. She's here.
Hey guys.
My mom, we have Cre8ive Vickerman, my mother. And this segment is going to be on raising creative children, creating safe space for creative people in general. So, even if you're not a parent, you can learn about that through this. I think you're lagging a little bit, but it's coming back. It's coming. Again.
Unfortunately, I am.
Okay. So we're going to work through this. We have one of Mommy's fans in the comments. I think his name is Jalen Forbes. He said, "Oh,
hey Jalen."
He said, "OMG, Auntie looks so pretty." Hey Key, what's up, y'all? So we're on our last segment, and I just need everybody to stay with us. We almost through. I'm gonna ask the questions again, and again, if you have any questions, being a parent, being a creative person in period, it's open. You're number one. We're not gonna have fan arguments in the comments right now. I told y'all there's the time and the place. Y'all do this offline. Okay. So obviously, like I said, I don't know if I said it, but this is my mom. To people that don't know, this is my mom, Cre8ive Vickerman. This is my mother. She birthed this amazing person, right? So the first question we're starting with is, what are some early signs you noticed that indicated your child had a creative flair and or talent? Now, before you answer that, so my mother has 8 kids, okay? So, and all of her kids are creative. Every single one of her children have some type of creative gift, talent. First of all, let's start off, their personalities are extremely creative, extremely. So she's well-versed in this. They're in different areas, different arenas. So she's not just speaking of me when she answers this question. It's like more than us. It's more than me. So yeah, I'm gonna say the question again. What are some early signs you noticed that indicated your child had a creative flair and or talent?
I would say that just not necessarily that I specifically noticed, but I think allowing the space for them to be comfortable enough to be creative and own their creativity, and not blocking them into what I believe or what society would believe they should do or could do or what have you. So I think specifically when it came to Cheyenne, I always tell the story, Cheyenne always wanted to be a journalist. Like, she always wants to be a journalist. Cheyenne was always reading. Cheyenne was always writing. And so I was just like, okay, well, we just gonna go with it. It was just something she just never strayed away from. And so Fast forward, when she went to high school, she went to a journalist high school. Like, there was no other options but to look for journalism high schools. And then, you know, now that she done made me a grandmother, y'all, with the
I was about
you
to
know,
say,
it's like
I was
seeing
about
her.
to say who?
Huh?
I was about to say who? What kid you know?
Hello, if you're my daughter and I'm your mother, then I'm mother of the creative space.
I get
Duh.
it. I get it.
But
I get it.
I think that seeing, most important thing for me is like, I felt like she should do, or what I felt like she should be, and allowing her to figure that out on her own. And even though she may not be journalist, she's still utilizing that gift in what she's doing today.
Yeah, it's true. I think you're frozen. I think you're back. Jalen, get that out of my comments right now. You better delete it.
Huh?
Yeah, I think you're frozen, but we heard you.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We hear you, but your video's like frozen in and out. It's coming back. It's back, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so yep, you know, the journalism thing. And like now, I may not write as much, but again, this is a form of journalism, because the high school that I did go to, you know, just give you guys some background, the high school I did go to, they covered the different areas of journalism. So they covered videography, they covered, you know, reporting, they covered all that type of stuff. So like she said, you know, it still comes up, like it's still there. But I don't want to like go too far on that. My next question is, and this is for people, parents, as well as like anybody that may be close with somebody that is a creative person. How do you nurture and support your child's creativity? But I want to turn that question of like, how do you nurture and support anybody around you? Like, so let's just say you have a creative friend, or, you know, somebody, so it could be your children, but anybody. How do you nurture and support that creativity? I think you kind of touched on it.
Yeah, again, going back to, I said it before, about just creating that space and allowing them to have that space of creativity, allowing them to, whatever it's going to be. Because again, like Shine started off as a journalist, she didn't end up as, you know, as a traditional journalist, as society would say, but she is still utilizing those gifts in her capacity that she's, you know, doing right now. So I think that just allowing for people, and even for myself, to be quite honest, to have that space, because what I will say is, for myself, I started out as a makeup artist, and as time progressed, you know, I was dibbling in and dabbling in different things, and I never really gave it my full attention, because I felt like I was betraying my first love. Like, I felt like if I started to do other things, then I'll leave my baby. I'm gonna just, you know, abandon my baby. That's my baby. That's my heart. That's my, also realized it was just God's way of expanding me and, you know, enlarging my territory. And I couldn't quench that. I couldn't put a, you know, a stopper on it and be like, nope, that's not it. You know, I had to be okay with the expansion, because if I wasn't okay with the expansion, then I'm blocking myself, you know? And so just anyone who's in my presence, anyone who I'm gonna push for that, like, what do you want to do? Like, what can I do to help? Like, you know, just giving them that space. Even my children now, I started allowing them to just paint. You know, like, we'll just have days where they're just painting, and it's not about painting something for perfection. It's just being able to have that space. So if it's a beautiful, perfect picture, okay, great. If it's not, still great. But it's just allowing for that space, just to be able to see, you know, maybe you're not a painter, but you have that space to create, and it'll spin off into something else. So just being able to accepting people and allowing them to have that space to be creative and to explore the creativity and express themselves.
Yeah, I agree. And you went into my next question when what you just said. I'm still going to ask it. How do you incorporate creativity into your family routine or traditions?
Say that one more time.
How do you incorporate creativity into your family routine and or traditions? Can you hear me? Hello? while we wait, I need you guys, I need everybody that's watching to send in one question. Let me know if you're ready, if you're back, Mom. I need everybody to send in one question so far and what you gained. So like so far, I learned that, you know, creativity isn't linear. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you start may not be the way you end. So again, I was you back. You're back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I was into reporting journalism. So I was into that type of stuff. And then I went to something else. So just saying that to say creativity isn't linear. So don't box yourself in, because if you box yourself in, you start to stifle, you know, what could possibly grow. But the question I was asking, Mom, was how do you incorporate creativity into your family routine or traditions? And you started answering it kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, just allowing that space for them, like, you know, instead of just being at the screen all day, because we know in today's world it's so easy to, you know, when I grew up, we had the TV, and, you know, we were just starting to tap into computers when I was in my teenage years. So I didn't have to compete with the TV versus the screen time, you know, tablets and iPads and all of those things. But not just not using the screen as a babysitter, because I think as parents that's the easiest thing for us to do, but to take them away from that and allow them a space to be able to create and explore their creativity. Because I think if we all look, a lot of the schools have taken out the arts programs and all of those things that were very helpful, that, you know, statistically was proven to be helpful, but they're no longer doing it. And so I think that we as parents, that's where we have to now bridge that gap and bring that back. If they're not going to bring it into the schools, then we have to bring it into our homes to allow them for that space so that they can explore, you know, different things and even signing them up to be part of different programs that, you know, will allow them to explore their creative side.
Yeah. When you said that, when thinking about the schools, so I graduated high school when I 2015. Yeah, I graduated high school in 2015, and even then the arts wasn't as, and I went to journalism high school, you guys, but even then the arts wasn't as stressed. I mean, think back to even Sister Act. That's my favorite movie. Y'all saw how they treated the arts department. It was terrible. But one thing that I'm grateful for in my high school is that, like, I was allowed to, so I started a step team in my high school. And although, you know, it wasn't something that I still do to this day, one thing that it taught me was leadership, how to lead a team. And it was people who were older than me, who were younger than me, people of different races. You know, I went to a Caucasian high school, and these Caucasians were stepping. And I'm saying all that to say that, like my mother said, you know, if something isn't offered in one environment, figure out how to hone in on that in your environment. Don't wait for something or someone to give you something or to present you with an opportunity. Like, create it yourself. Like, I think there's this meme going around talking about creating your own table or something. Like, if you're not invited to the table, create your own table. Like, you know, do that until things get better, but don't wait for somebody else to give you that. And then again, you never know what and who, and you never know what's connected to what. So like I said, I used to be the captain of a step team. I started a step team, and I don't step no more at all, y'all, at all. But that led me to be able to learn how to lead properly, lead different people. Facts, Risk. Create your own table, because the thing is, you'll be sitting there, you know, you'll be sitting there waiting for somebody else to present something to you that, child, they're not thinking about you. You're going to be getting old and gray waiting. Old and gray waiting for them to get back. But we're going to get back to another question. So another question I have, and I find it very interesting, is, do you find that your creativity influences other aspects of your life, such as problem solving or
I ain't hear none part of that question, sis.
Okay. This question says, do you find that your child's creativity influences other aspects of their life, such as problem solving or social interactions?
Absolutely. And Shine touched on it when she said that even though she was a part of, she created the step team, and even though it's not something that she's doing, it taught her leadership skills. And so that's just one example of how just being able to be in different, being exposed to different things will help to grow and nurture other parts of you as a person. When it comes to social, it's the same thing. You're able to meet and be around a different set of people that you may not have been able to be exposed to otherwise. And so I think that just having them exposed to different things and around different people is definitely helps them socially, emotionally, all the way across the board. They gain skills that they may not gain in different settings.
Yep, it's true. And that's for any creative. Like, don't just stick
Mhm.
to your people or your niche, because like D Dames, I guess before this, said that he pulls from different inspirations. So he's not into fashion content, but he watches fashion content and you see it show up in his work. And his work is so different and stands out because he pulls from other areas of inspiration. So like for me, I'm grateful, although I didn't love it too much, I'm grateful that I did that. I ended up going to a predominantly Caucasian high school because I tried different foods. Like now I drink bubble tea almost 2-3 times a week because of that school. Like I know what that is. Now I know how to make my own. I know I love cannolis. I didn't eat that. I really rarely, I don't think I ate it as much. But when I started getting around, the Italians, I think that's the root of them, the cannolis. Yeah. When I got around the Italians, that was something that I learned, a whole bunch of different foods. Sushi was from being around Asian community. And although I'm a picky eater, I'm grateful that I was able to be around these different sectors of people.
Yeah.
And now it can go into your creativity. Like now you can be around different groups and pull it and bring it in and make it your own. So creatives, don't just stick to your niche and your people, because then you're gonna limit yourself. So that's one takeaway from that. And I told you guys, this segment is not just for parents, it's for everybody. One more question, and again, this is extremely important. How do you strike a balance between encouraging your child's creativity and providing structure or guidance when needed?
Ooh, that's a tough one, because as a mom who is a creative, I'm striving to do that for myself. Yeah. And so I have to differentiate what is something that I just happen to want to learn how to do versus something that's really a hobby, versus that which is for me. Pretty much I have to find the balance of what's for me and what's for everybody else, right? Yeah. So just because I know how to do this, it does not mean that in this time that God is requiring me to take all of my attention and do that, because that might not be where he wants me to be. That might not be my assignment. Now, it might be what he's given me for me, because I do believe as creative, we have to find a way to balance like what he gives us to share with people as opposed to like a therapy. It's therapeutic. So we have to be able to find that balance and not think that just because he's giving me this idea, it's for me to go run now and get a marketing tool behind it to market it to the masses. You understand what I'm saying? If that makes sense, you have to figure out what is he giving you for you so that you're able to function, and what is he giving you to share with everybody else. And it's two completely different things. So I think the best thing is, I would say, is you have to submit yourself to God. Like you got to submit yourself to God in good leadership, and have people who you can be accountable to, who you can be honest to, who you can have that space to be who you are. And they'll be the ones to help you to navigate through those parts where you're trying to figure out, or sometimes you ain't even trying to figure it out. It feels good, it sounds good, and you just like, I'm going for it. But you got to be able to have people that you trust that can say, you know what, Shani, I don't, even though you get at that, I don't think that that's what you're supposed to be doing at this particular time. Or I don't think that that's what that was for. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think that that's just something that is a takeaway. You just have to be very prayerful and knowing that God has given you people to help you to navigate through those spaces, so that you're just not out here just going with every wind that blows. Because as creatives, we can have 15 ideas in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we got to figure out how to work through those and figure out what's now, what's later. Is your relationship with Christ and trusting who He is and what He's given you.
Yeah. And it's so funny that this came up because today I was talking to somebody about, I don't know if it's a creative idea that I had, but it was just like an endeavor that I was doing. It's already announced. And, you know, it was just like the fine tuning of it. I was just a little like, you know how like as creatives, sometimes we feel like our ideas is just the best. Like it's just like, this is it. And then somebody comes along and just like, this is it. But you know, you gotta fix this, you gotta fix that. And I was just sitting there like, you know, dang.
Yeah.
And I think like as creatives, we have to learn how to, again, like my mom said, and like Gabby saying in the comments, you know, having that accountability, but trusting the people that you're accountable to, or trusting people that are holding you accountable, and knowing that like, you know, it's safe to share creative ideas and get feedback, because it's going to make it all the better. And just because you are this creative person doesn't mean that you can never get feedback on something, that you can't get notes or edits on something. It's just like, it's okay. It's necessary. And another takeaway that I took from what you were saying was not moving on everything and then marketing it as well. Because I think also, I mean, granted, you know, we're not living in the best economy right now. So it's just like when we have these creative ideas, we're just okay, this can make me money. And it's just like, that's how you end up becoming burnt out, because you're trying to, everything that you love, you made it into something that's lucrative. So then now you don't have no hobbies left. You're trying to make money from everything that you love, and you're burnt out from trying to. And like Gabby said, even if negative or positive feedback, it helps us grow. Exactly. Definitely. So, you know,
one thing to add on to that as well is that I think one thing that we have to look at our business, and we have to, whatever the idea is, it has to enhance what we're already doing, and not completely like now we have this business that we built for 2 years, and now we're going to have to put this business down to now start another one from the ground up. So I think that if the idea doesn't necessarily complement what you're already doing or add on to it, then it may not be something that you just want to do, because we all know when you're building a business, like when you're building anything, it's very, very, very hard. So you don't want to just build it and say, okay, I got to this point and now I'm gonna just go over here and just start something else, until you've gotten this one to a place where it can just kind of like be on its own. You know what I mean? So I think we have to be able to, that's one way that I am learning, because I am learning to not just take the idea and just run with it. Like it has to complement what I'm already doing. You know, it has to make what I'm already doing easier. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to match what I'm already doing. It has to make sense. So let me just keep on pouring into this and adding that onto it. And then I know when the time comes, there's a whole other list of things that God has, you know, for me to do. You know, and it's going to be time, because He gave it to me. And if I'm obedient to His voice, when He tells me to do it and when He tells me to launch it, it's going to be successful, because I did it in His time and not in my own.
Yep, that's true. Like, and that's another thing that like I struggle with as well, because I can get 50 million ideas and I'm just like, you don't have to make this a thing. And then it's like, at least a thing right now. And it's like, you already have a business that you're growing. Why try to grow another thing? Yes, let the main thing be the main thing. Exactly. So I hope that every creative alike here watching, parent, child, whatever you are, I hope and pray that you guys gain takeaways, because I did. And I thank you for everybody that stuck around to our, you know, our whole show, entire show. But I thank you guys specifically for people that stayed on to the last one, because you know people have bad attention spans in this day and age. So everybody that stayed, you are better than 2% of the world. I'm just joking. But you know, I'm just grateful for everybody that's watching. Mom, thank you for being on again with us. I appreciate your nuggets and everything.
Can I just say one thing though?
Sure.
I do want to add something. I just want to say, Shine, I'm so extremely godly proud of you. That, first of all, congratulations on 2 years. Like, I can't believe it's been 2 years. And I'm just so proud of everything that you have done and you're continuing to do, and just seeing how the creative space has grown through the valleys and the valleys and the hilltops, they go all hand in hand, and just sticking through it, even when you felt like giving up and you took a break and you're like, no, I'm on break, and then but you got back on. So I'm just proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you do in the next 2 months, the next 2 years, the next 20 years, however long God has you to do this. And I'm going to be there, whether I'm there in person, whether I'm in the background, wherever, I'm there. I got you. And we just going to ride this till the wheels fall off. So I love you, and I'm proud of you.
God be praised. Yeah, no, I don't do this crying stuff in public. So I'm just going to save it till later. But thank you so much, Ron, for those words. It's really, it's one thing to hear it from, and I appreciate everybody that supports me, like genuinely. It's one thing to hear it from people that don't really know you, but it's another thing to hear it from somebody that like sees the ins and outs of you coming up, you not knowing what in the world you want to do. And, Gabby in the comments, so it's just, thank you. I appreciate those words. And I definitely feel like 10 times better. No pun intended, if you know what I'm talking about. 10 times better to continue going another 2 months, 2 years, however long God has me to do this. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Ron, for those words and coming on. I appreciate you, the nuggets, all of it. All right, thank you so much. So, okay, got you. So, you guys, this was a show. We ended on, almost waterworks. Almost the waterworks. You almost caught me in the waterworks. But, I'm grateful that of all everybody that came on, I'm grateful. You guys definitely encouraged me tonight. All of the guests, our new guest, D Dames, that joined us tonight. It was his first time with the creative space in general. And I'm just grateful that, we connected. I'm grateful for his nuggets. I'm grateful for everything. Ethan, who's been with us before, him again. And he switched roles, and he even left some great takeaways. It was just very, very encouraging. And then of course to close out with my mom, who gave insight of raising creative children and what it's like to just have a creative community and be a safe space for a creative person. I'm extremely, extremely grateful. Oh, Gabby, don't make me cry. I'm encouraged because you guys are encouraged. Literally, if nobody came on here and said anything, you guys saying that you guys commenting, you guys saying that you got something from this is what I'm happy with. Literally, I'm on cloud, maybe not 9, maybe 8, because I'm a little tired now. But I'm on around cloud 8 because you guys are just dope people. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you would like to give, support us in any way, Cash App is right there. If not, your presence and your support is gonna be enough for tonight. Yeah, this was a great show. I do not want to hold you guys any longer. I don't have nothing else to say. I'm satisfied with the show. I'm satisfied. And again, I want to say thank you to every single guest that joined. Every supporter that was commenting, YouTube, Facebook, the Dame's YouTube and Facebook, Ethan's Facebook, my mom's Facebook. Thank you guys so much. You guys, this is not the last you hear from us. I know we have not been doing this we haven't done this in a long time, but we're going to be back next year. So yeah, that's it for me. Peace out, y'all. We too, baby. Later, y'all.